Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sakura Unboxing. So in today's video, it's kind of a special video because today, as I'm hopefully going to be posting this on the correct date, it is my birthday. So December 15th is my birthday, so I'm very excited to give you all this gift, which is essentially me just, showing off the figures that I have collected in the past couple of months, so from August to hopefully November. I say this because as the time I'm recording this, which is September 6th, I've paid for my Ami order via DHL, which was surprisingly a lot cheaper than EMS, but they haven't shipped it yet, so hopefully it gets here in the next couple of days, maybe even like Saturday, so I can do a sort of two-parter figure haul from these past couple of months. In the case that that doesn't work out, you guys will be getting hopefully a small collection video from a series that I quite enjoy, and that's sort of just the backup. Hopefully it does go through with, showing off my October and November haul, because that's supposed to be part 2. But in part 1, we will be doing my August and September orders, which include, quite a lot of figures that I have been anticipating, and thankfully now I can share, and some new favorites, definitely some new favorites for my collection that I'm very happy to have. So yeah, so I want to say, of course, thank you all for your support and your kind words. I feel like I was gonna get, I don't know, I feel like I was gonna get emotional there, but it really means a lot. I really do enjoy, some of the feedback you guys give, or just for taking the time to like and subscribe, all that, and I do hope to keep this up in the future to the best of my abilities. And yeah, additionally, I guess thank you in advance for anyone who gives me birthday wishes and all that, so yeah, so thank you all in advance. And without further ado, let us get started with, finally, a figure haul. So starting off, actually, before we get into the figures, there is one item that I actually completely forgot that I ordered in August, because I don't usually pick up items like this, and it is this one right here. So here we have this absolutely adorable Spy X Family, I believe it's called, Matching Outfits clear file, which is absolutely adorable. I saw their outfits and I'm like, I had to pre-order this. Very inexpensive too, this clear file, so I had to look it up. So this was 390 yen, which is $2.86, which, for a little item like this, it's like a steal. And you could actually get this with all the characters separate, but I don't know, why would you get them separate unless one of them is your favorite and you don't care for the others, but I like having the family together, so that's why I picked up this one with all of them together. I don't use clear files, so it's just pretty much like a little art collectible, and I had to, since I looked up the price, I saw another one that I actually pre-ordered that's coming out next year. So yeah, it's very cute overall, very nice print quality, everyone looks crisp and clean in their nice outfits on this clear file. And yeah, so if I see any clear file with a very cute design, I will probably pre-order it and, just sort of have a nice clear file collection. And so yeah, very nice, very inexpensive, and just a nice little clear file to add to my clear file collection. So now moving on to the figures for the month. For the month of August, I have 3 scale figures, so quite exciting. And we'll start off with the first one here that's kind of my least favorite, but still a pretty good figure nonetheless. And the first one we have right here is the Mina no Oniku Takagi-san, the regular version. So there is actually still an Ami that you could buy. It is the black version. So her whole outfit is black. That one is still an Ami, but unfortunately this standard one with the black and the white is not. So very cute small box overall. She is kneeling, which it helps. Unfortunately I have to make sure I don't turn this box, but here is the very lovely artwork of her. If it looks, I have my face. Very nice to include the original art. I do like that when a box includes it. And then we have instructions. Now, unfortunately, I can't show, I don't think I can show the last side, because it does show the cast-off features. It is blurred, but I don't want to risk it on YouTube. But it shows her, the one that I got, the white and black outfit, and it shows the all-black outfit. and it does show off the cast-off features. Unfortunately, I guess that's my one gripe with this box. While I do appreciate the original artwork on the side, I'd rather not have them show like the cast-off features in her kind of nude. Just a personal preference, because, you know, I kind of want this to be a little discreet. Obviously, it's fine if it's on the instructions on the inside of the box, but on the outside, it's a little bit. If my mom sees this, I'm screwed. That's all I gotta say. But yeah. So yeah, pretty standard box. You know, nice and small, doesn't take up too much space. And now we'll get on to the lovely figure herself. So here she is, right here. She just fits nicely in the palm of my hand, which is very nice. Very cute sculpt overall. I do like her pose, and I definitely like kneeling figures and small ones like these because they don't take up a lot of horizontal or vertical space, which I appreciate. You know, very cute pose overall. I do like her face. Very nice, not too awkward or anything. And I do like, of course, the big choker. I do appreciate my figures with chokers because I love to wear chokers. And yeah, so just very cute overall. The one issue I kind of ran into this figure when I was first unboxing her was getting all the plastic off, and I think, you know, yeah, I was just seeing some stuff because she is cast off, and the instruction says you do have to use a blow dryer for certain parts because it can be annoying to like put stuff together or take it apart. It might not fit, like the pegs to kind of clip the underwear or the back part of her top together. It can be annoying to put together. So yeah, blow dryer, you know, heat it up and it should be fine. The other issue I had was when I was first taking off her underwear just to kind of like, I guess, see how it looked, is that her legs, they don't come off. So you basically have to pull the underwear over her leg, which was a bit annoying because her legs are kind of thick. So, you know, I had to take it pretty slow because I was worried about like maybe ripping the plastic or something, because it is obviously a flexible material. Don't know how far it can stretch, but that's just one thing that I'd watch out for. Just don't like overstretch it, and just take your time if you want to display her without her underwear. So the other thing that she comes with is actually a black base, which I feel like is pointless, but hey, if you want this, you could maybe customize it if you want to, but just for her to kneel on, but it's kind of pointless because she can already support herself. The other detail, or other like sort of thing she comes with, is actually the decals. So you just put this on her, I guess you wet them and then it just sticks to her skin. Decals I personally don't really put on my figures because I just don't want to mess anything up, and I don't know, I just rather keep the decals like all together essentially and just not use them at all. But that's just my personal preference. And the last thing, and I'm sure the thing that most people pre-ordered her for, was the absolutely gorgeous heart eyes faceplate. Very well done overall. I probably should display her with this, and I guess kind of a small petty reason why I didn't display her with it in the first place was mine, unfortunately, the left eye got a little bit, it might have been a scratch or something, and there's like a little white speck on the left eye. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I feel like, you know, I won't see it at a distance, so it's fine, but very well done overall. You know, I'm sure a lot of people love this faceplate, and I do too. I just didn't want to display her with it because I knew about that white speck, but I think I'll display her with it now just to, you know, because it looks cute. But yeah, she's overall well done. I really do like the sculpt. Again, not my favorite for August, but, you know, she's still very adorable. I do love this character's design, and yeah, very nice and small figure if you're looking for small figures that don't take up a lot of space. So yeah, I recommend her. So actually on Ami, the black one is available. Her all black version is the only one available. Unfortunately, this black and white one is not. But yeah, for only like 106 USD, I definitely say she's worth it. Maybe if you could find her cheaper, it's not too bad. She's pretty small. Yeah, but overall, I just love this character design. She's super duper cute, and yeah, very happy just to have this cute little girl in my collection. Now moving on to the next figure, it is kind of a lewd figure, and I got this off of Nin Game, and it is a native figure. Unfortunately, with native, you definitely get your best deal by getting them off of the native website. There might be some other places where you can get it cheaper, but the native website is the way to go. The only issue with me at the moment is that they require you to use card. So I believe it's just the credit card. You might be able to do like debit card, but card in general, you have to use to buy your figures, and I prefer to use PayPal. So unfortunately, I can't buy from them at the moment, but via credit card. So I have to look elsewhere, and I look to Nin Games for my much more risque figures, and I do pay a little bit more, unfortunately, but if it means I can secure the figure, I can secure the figure. And what's nice about Nin Game is that you can wait to pay for your orders like on Ami, but you have the option to pay right away, which is nice if you just want to get that out of the way. But yes, so that's where I go for my figures at the moment. Hopefully in the future I can definitely, when I'm more like independent, I guess, or I have my own credit card, obviously I won't go crazy with it, but I'm hoping to have that as an option so I can buy stuff off of the native website in the future. But for now, it's Nin Game. It's a little bit more, paid for the figures and such. But moving on to the figure, it is this lovely girl right here. And here we have, in this lovely cardboard box, we have the Mauve 1/6 painted figure by Native and Rocket Boy. I should say Native distributes this and Rocket Boy is the manufacturer. And this box is absolutely gorgeous. You have a silhouette of Mauve on the front. You have this dripping chocolate on here with these gold flakes and this lovely mint colored box, which I love. It's absolutely appetizing to me because I do have a sweet tooth, of course, so there's the reason. Gold flakes on the back. And then on the side right here, you do have the original illustrator, if the glare cooperates. Original illustrator, sculptor, and painter. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous box. And what's actually nice about Nin Game is you can actually get the original illustration with these, which is very nice. There's some places that may not do that, but thankfully Nin Game is one of those places that comes with the original illustration, little postcard that I have right here. So yeah, here we go, right here, the lovely illustration of Mauve right here. There'll be better footage, but absolutely love it. The design in the background matches the design on the box. You have all the chocolates and sweets on her base, and then you have Mauve herself looking absolutely adorable. Postcard, it just has like native illustration postcard on the back with a little chocolate on it. So yeah, very nice postcard overall. I absolutely love it. So now, moving on to Mauve right here, and she is absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy with the way she came out. Because again, very anticipated figure because of the whole sweets theme. I love sweet themed figures. And this one is just absolutely wonderful. I love her base, the splash of that chocolate at the bottom mixed with all these other sweet treats on here. The lovely gold details on here are very well painted. Thankfully with mine, there's no paint defects. I know I was talking with Eliza Desu, who is a fellow figure collector here on YouTube. Shout out to her because she's super sweet. We talk a lot on my figure collection, and she did say, I believe, that hers had some paint defects, so that's with some of these. With mine, I see none at all. She is flawless. Additionally, one of the other things is that the tail is pretty loose. It just kind of sits in the peg. I believe it's been a while. Again, it's been a while since I've looked at this figure because I unboxed it quite a while ago. And yeah, but Mauve overall, her sculpt is fantastic. I love her jacket. Her undergarment looks fantastic. Her face is so cute. They did a very great job on the eyes and the open mouth sculpt because I feel like open mouth sculpts are pretty hard because you mess it up and the figure looks whack, and thankfully with her, it looks absolutely adorable. She's got a choker, I got a choker, so there's that, and she's just so cute, and for me, flawless. A very flawless figure by Rocket Boy. Absolutely in love. And now, of course, the other details we have are in, whoops, that kind of slipped out of the bag. So, of course, the black bags of discreetness, as I call them. So, at least one of them comes with her bottom part with no underwear. Surprisingly, the underwear is molded to her, so that's why there's a separate part for that. You cannot take the underwear off. And the second one is the top. Obviously, her top is pretty much molded onto her, so you can't take that off. So it's an alternate torso for her top without her garment on up there. And the last item that comes with her is this very also well painted face that's like her eyes are a little bit more like squinted and her mouth is a little bit more closed. I personally love the very happy open mouth one, so that is my choice for displaying her. Of course, I will show at least the face part off, obviously not the nude parts, so yeah. Okay, so actually, quick thing, when I was picking her back up, I accidentally knocked this piece with the macaron and the little cookie off. So the little pieces on the base, at least this front one right here, it's a little bit loose. So yeah, just be careful, especially with this big one right here with the macaroon and the cookie. Like, you could, like, if you bump right into it, it'll fall off. So yeah, just a couple of loose pieces. Yeah, thankfully no paint was scratched off with that. So yeah, just something to be careful with. These front pieces specifically. They don't have the tightest fit in the world, so that's something to watch out for. But besides that little hiccup that I had, she is absolutely, again, wonderful. I highly recommend picking her up at hopefully a reasonable price. I think she has gone up in the aftermarket. I haven't looked. But yeah, hopefully you can snag her, because if you are a sweet lover like I do, she will definitely fit well into your collection. Now moving on to the last figure of August, and definitely another one of my favorites, another anticipated figure, and it is this handsome boy right here. So yeah, you are seeing this box right. How massive this is. This is the Heaven's Official's Blessing, Ji Leon, His Highness Who Pleased the Gods version 1/7 complete figure, single shipment by Good Small Art Shanghai. And you can almost see why this is a single shipment, because this box is large and in charge, gorgeously detailed. I love the gold lettering, the reflectiveness of the petals, the figure on the side right here. Oh my god. Oh god. More details on the back, absolutely gorgeous. And then the original artwork printed beautifully on the side of this box. And actually, with him, he was, I believe, originally supposed to be released in July, but he ended up getting pushed to August, so yeah, he got August release. But I think he was worth the wait, because he's absolutely fantastic and gorgeous. I do wish that I actually pre-ordered him off of the Good Small website, because that came with a tapestry of the original artwork, and I regret not doing that, but I'm glad to have him. He's gorgeous. And we'll go into pricing, because this figure, quite expensive, but, and obviously with a little bit of how the yen is getting better at the moment, the prices are definitely different. So on AmiAmi, which is where I got him from, he was 23,400 yen, that's with discounts, so $171.39. I ended up going with EMS, and because he was single shipment, it was a lot, so not a lot as I thought it would be, but it's still a lot. So he was 9,180 yen, so the total came out to 32,580 yen, which in USD at the moment is $237.84. So pretty expensive, obviously, because, you know, single shipment, it's quite a very detailed figure. But to me, I think he was worth it for what I paid for, because he's absolutely stunning and gorgeous, and I will show him off to you guys right now. So here he is. I'll try and get him at a good angle, but absolutely blown away with him. Definitely worthy for one of my top figures for 2022. He is so gorgeously detailed. I don't notice too many paint defects, or any at all. There is one that I noticed before when I kind of filmed recording at like the front of him, like under his like red part of his outfit, I guess. There's a little bit of like, it's not you know, it's a little bit of like a white mishap, so there's that. But other than that, obviously I don't think you'll display him from that angle because you do kind of want to display him as kind of shown on the box. But this figure has so many marvelous details that are very well painted, besides that one mishap. But he's so absolutely gorgeous. His face looks very, very handsome. The base looks absolutely gorgeous with this blossoming, not really cherry blossom, I'd like to think it is, but it's like this beautiful blossom just flowing out. And just the way everything flows is absolutely gorgeous. His outfit, his hair is mwah, the chef's kiss. I love me some long flowing hair on an anime boy, and this is just the definition of that. His headpiece, very well sculpted and very well painted. There's, you know, for such a small piece, they painted it very well. And yeah, so the other thing he comes with is a sword, which is a piece that you have to put on. I did kind of struggle with that, not gonna lie, putting that in. And it also has like a little peg, so you have to like remove like the tassel part and then put it back in to the peg, or at least the hilt of the sword. Yeah, that kind of popped on me once or twice, but now it's staying on. It's a pretty nice and long sword, very well detailed and painted. I guess the one issue with this figure is spacing. So if you guys can see, definitely he's got like this trail coming out of the base and the back, as well as how long this sword is. It does take a lot of room. And I do have like a shelf, a little storage unit that's maybe the equivalent of a detolf. It's like 14 by 14 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know how tall and wide a detolf is because I don't have one, and I don't plan on getting one for quite a while. But if it's like a roughly about that, he does take up a whole detolf possibly to himself. I do have Nendroids around him, so that's like the only other thing you can fit with this figure. Massive, so he's pretty much massive. And also pretty tall with clear pink sort of scarf thing that he has flowing around him. So that makes him a little bit taller. I do kind of have to push that down a little bit to fit him in to my box that I have him in. The other thing I worry about with him while I was assembling him, obviously he's got plastic all around. You can take off his head. And the one thing I'd recommend when you're putting the head back in is to kind of cover his like sleeve, his back sleeve right here with plastic, because I worry that if you do, you might accidentally rub that hair onto this white outfit, and paint transfer could be possible. I'm not too sure if other people on my figure collection had that issue where they accidentally scraped that against the white fabric and ruined it, which, yeah, that would be pretty awful. So cover that part with plastic when you're reassembling his head to his body, because that's a possible thing that can happen. But I am in love. I've watched, I think, 2 episodes of the anime in the original, like, Chinese dub, and I couldn't really get into it. I might try it again. Either, I think it has a Japanese dub and an English dub. I'll try one of those two, because I would, after seeing this lovely figure, I'd love to know more about this boy. Again, long-haired anime boys are my cup of tea. I love them. Gorgeous. I wish I had hair like them. But yeah, definitely one of my top figures. He is absolutely stunning. And yeah, I guess if you can get your hands on him, I'd recommend him. Or if you love the source material that he's from, I'd recommend picking him up. At, again, a good price. And then I'd be warned about that shipping because it is absolutely crazy. But yeah, he's so beautiful, and I'm quite happy, and I feel like he was worth what I paid for because of all this detail and gorgeousness overall. So yeah, very happy to have this lovely boy in my collection, and another one I can add to my long-haired boy anime figure collection. Now we are moving on to my September orders. So in September of 2022, I have 1 pop-up parade, 2 Nendroids, and a scale figure. So we'll start off with the pop-up parade. So now moving on to my September 2022 pre-orders, we'll be starting off with the pop-up parade, then we'll be going on to the 2 Nendroids I picked up, and then lastly the scale figure. So starting off with the pop-up parade, I don't really collect them, but this character I kind of made an exception for because it has a sort of theme that I would like to collect with my figures, and it is this one right here. So, plastic box, it's probably not gonna be easy to see the name, but we have the Pop-Up Parade Sakura Miko by Max Factory, and it is a Hololive character. I don't really watch Hololive, but I do appreciate their character designs, and of course, because this is a Sakura themed character, hence Sakura Miko, I decided to pick her up. So I got her off of Ami. She was 4,160 yen, which is roughly $30.47. She was a little more expensive than the other pop-up parades because I feel like the Hololive tax on that, so yeah. But I just overall really liked her pose and what I saw, and I didn't want to go crazy on some of the Hololive figures, and I missed the Nendoroid. I guess that was one of my other options, but I just had to get this pop-up parade, a little more on the cheap side, so I'll pick her up right now. So here she is. Very cute overall. I do kind of keep her back here, not on my shelf, on like one of these little shelves right here. But yeah, overall just very cute. Everything for the most part is pretty well painted. The gold on her bells look very nice. I love her pose. It's very cute. Unfortunately, I believe I did kind of try to fix it and it's not there anymore. There was a little bit of a black mark on her face at the beginning, which I did manage to clear off, thankfully. The other sort of things that I have issues with this figure, I believe on mine, I can't see because it's so dark where I am and I don't want to turn on this light. Her hair, in some areas, the paint's a little bit clumpy, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But, other than that, she's pretty good. Her face is pretty well, painted with her eyes. She does look a little bit chubby in the face, though. That's just my one big gripe with, I guess her face sculpt. She looks a little bit chubby in the face. But yeah, pretty inexpensive one figure of Sakura Miko, so I was glad to pick her up. But yeah, for how she looks overall, I'd say she's pretty good. I'm glad to have her for mostly my sort of Sakura themed collection. Now moving on to the next two figures. They are both Nendoroids, both from the same series, so I thought I might as well show them off right now. And it is these two Nendoroids right here. So right here we have the I'm shaking the right arm. Okay, the Kento Nanami Nendoroid and the Sukuna Nendoroid from Jujutsu Kaisen. So yeah, I'll show the boxes off one by one to the best of my abilities, because again, the glare is pretty bad. Here's Nanami's box. It's pretty simple. It just has one color, being this yellow color. Which I don't know, I like it when boxes have little details on them. Unfortunately, the Jujutsu Kaisen boxes I feel are pretty plain overall. So yeah, Nanami. And if anyone remembers when this first went up for pre-order, Nanami went out very quickly. His pre-orders opened and then they instantly closed. It's the same thing that kind of happened with Toge, but I feel when I first saw his pictures, I thought he was very well done, very good looking Nendoroid. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm just glad I managed to snag him when I could. I do think what he comes with is pretty good. Of course, I'll go over that in the B-roll with these Nendoroids. And now, we're gonna touch up on Sukuna, who I feel definitely a lot of people didn't pre-order. And that's because he's very bare bones of a Nendoroid at the moment. I guess the one thing you can do is you can obviously display him with, Yuji's body. You can put Sukuna's head on Yuji's body because, of course, I don't have the Yuji Nendoroid, I just have Sukuna. So there's that. Okay. All those little details on there. Upside down. Top and the bottom. Now, definitely a lot of people probably didn't pre-order this one because, again, he's very bare bones. We don't have all of Sukuna's ability because I feel of course, Good Smell only adapts what's in the anime. So unfortunately, we don't know the full extent of Sukuna's powers yet in Nendoroid form. So yeah, again, pretty bare bones. I'm a little bit, disappointed that he didn't really come with a lot. Again, I think one of the suggestions I said was sort of a ripped body, because obviously he tears off Yuji's shirt and you just see his abs. So unfortunately he doesn't come with an alternate body part, which I definitely would have liked to see, unfortunately. But yeah, very bare bones. So for You know, no one who's a Sukuna fan. I'm just personally a Sukuna simp because I do love me a good asshole character. I probably wouldn't recommend picking him up unless you're collecting the Jujutsu Kaisen androids. I guess go for it. But other than that, yeah, just because, again, he doesn't come with a lot, he's a little bit underwhelming, so that's why I recommend not picking him up. And now I'll get these two right here. So I'm gonna hold these guys up to the best of my abilities. So I have Nanami just kind of in this like simple pose that I found on the box. And again with the Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroids, they do have the special base, which I do quite like on Nendoroids. Gives it a little bit more character. Sukuna just has the smug face, which I love. I love that smug face, and he's just holding the skull. The skull just kind of plops onto his hand, so just be careful when you're moving him around because it could fall off. So I'll give my thoughts of them in the B-roll. So before getting into the B-roll, I forgot to mention the pricing for these two Nendoroids. So both the Sukuna and Nanami Nendoroids are pretty much the same price. On Ami, where I got them from, they were 4,620 yen. So $33.84. For the Nanami, I feel like it's a decent price, but for Sukuna, I feel like it should have been a lot less considering what he comes with, but yes, I forgot to mention the prices, so want to mention them quickly right here. So starting off with Nanami's Nendoroid, I do quite like him overall. There are some things I would like to change that I'll talk about a little later in this part. But first, I want to talk about some little paint defects that came with mine. For some reason, he has this sort of stain on his jacket. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of just this weird stain. It doesn't look like a paint defect that unfortunately I don't think I can remove without damaging his outfit, so it's there to stay unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much like the one sort of paint defect unfortunately that I came across, and unfortunately it is right in front of the figure. But other than that, I do like what he comes with overall. He has some accessories like his cleaver, a sandwich, and a cell phone. And he also has like a sort of hand piece that holds his tie like he's taking it off, as well as this sort of cool, sort of clear backdrop piece for one of his attacks, which I do like to see in Nendoroids. Unfortunately, I can't display it with how much room I have, so it's in the box right now. But yeah, so overall I do quite like his accessories overall. However, for this like Nendoroid, there's some things again I'd like changed. The seam line on him is quite obvious. I wish it was a little bit more well hidden. And I actually wish that his goggles or glasses were a sort of separate part, maybe even magnetic to the faceplates. That might be a little tricky with the sort of engineering for it, but that's just like sort of having an option to have the goggles on and off so you can see the faceplates better. I don't know, it just gives more variety, and that's just something I would have liked to see. And unfortunately, two of these have the goggles on permanently and the other one doesn't have the goggles at all. And the last thing are these sort of stickers that you can use. They're supposed to be like making him like opaque so you can't see his eyes, but for me they're just staying in the bag because I don't use stickers again for my figures. And now moving on to Sukuna. Overall, I really wouldn't recommend picking him up at retail price. He is definitely way more than he should be considering what he comes with. Unless you're a big Sukuna fan and you want to collect all his figures, then sure, go for it, but definitely find him at a much more discounted price. So he really only comes with multiple hand parts. The little skull, he has this backdrop, which I do think is cool overall, and yeah, so that's it. That's really all you're getting in terms of accessories, and it's really unfortunate. But I guess some positives for this figure and some highlights that I do quite like. I do think he's painted well overall, and I feel like his faceplates are definitely a big highlight. I think they fit him absolutely perfectly. They did a great job with the paintwork on it. I think it's all crisp and clean because I feel like if you mess these faceplates up, it's no good at all. But thankfully they did such a great job showing off how sadistic he looks and just how smug he can be, and I just absolutely love that about the faceplates. And additionally, I like his hands. They are like the Nezuko Nendoroid. They're clawed, which I do like, and I think is a very cool touch. So I really do like that for this Nendoroid, but again, wouldn't recommend picking him up for his retail value. And I sort of have this last little section with both Nanami and Sukuna with their backdrops, which, I don't know, I thought was a little cool sort of b-roll that I could do. So yeah, Sukuna, again, wouldn't recommend the retail price, but find him at a much cheaper price, and you're all good. Now moving on to the last figure I have for September 2022. Very anticipated figure because I fell in love with it. I immediately pre-ordered it because I thought it was an absolutely gorgeous figure, and it is of this lovely lady right here. So it's kind of hard to tell because this is a clear plasticky box, but this is the Chinese Paladin Sword and Fairy Long Kui Crimson Guardian Princess version 1/7 figure by Reverse Studio. So I believe this is the second figure made by Reverse Studio. So it's kind of hard to tell, but this box does have some lovely gold shiny details, some gold flowers, some little effects. On the back, it's kind of like textured a little bit, and you also have a silhouette of the figure on there, which I do quite like. And then on the side, there's like this writing. I'm not sure if it's a quote by the character or something, but yeah, kind of hard to see on camera, unfortunately. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. One of my most anticipated figures because I think she's absolutely stunning. So right now she's actually on sale on AmiAmi. So she's 15,500 yen, which is $113.11, which I feel like for looking at this figure, you think she might be a lot more, but she's not. So very nice. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I did not pay that price. So yeah, don't know how much she used to ship by herself because I combined my order, which was a total of like roughly 9,100 to ship her, the two Nendroids, and the Papa Parade. So I definitely recommend asking AmiAmi support how much it is to ship her, you know, just to get an idea so you don't order her and then you realize how much shipping is and then you don't want her. I absolutely love her, and now I will pick her up right now to show her. So when she first went up for pre-order, she was actually 16,940 yen, which is still $123.66, which is still pretty inexpensive for what you get, in my opinion. So here she is in all of her glory. Of course, another type of figure I love is figures with scythes, and her scythe is absolutely stunning. I love this design. I love her pose. She just has this very nice flow to her overall. Her face is so well done. I absolutely love this sort of smug expression she has. The gold details on her outfit are shiny and very clean overall. The base, I think, is absolutely beautiful with the crystal, these flowers on here, as well as this sort of like red, ripply sort of water part at the bottom. Looks absolutely wonderful. Yeah, everything about this figure I am absolutely in love with. Like, Reverse Studio, they did such a fantastic job with this figure. It is definitely now one of my top figures in my collection because of how just elegant she is. And I guess the other thing I also noticed is like her hair that transition from the brown to the red looks absolutely fantastic. I really don't see a single flaw on this figure. I think she's stunning. Like, I really recommend this figure if you love scythes like I do. And for that price, I think absolutely worth it. I'm not sure with shipping, but you know, there's that. Yeah, so the only point of attachment for her is the foot to the crystal base. The scythe already comes in her hand, which is very nice. The scythe does kind of jut out a little bit forward, so it does take up quite a bit of room in the front. But yeah, I absolutely enamored with her. She is, yeah, again, one of my favorites in my collection. Just gorgeous, well done, well painted, absolutely worth the price. Highly recommend it. And what's also kind of nice about this figure is that it actually came with the artwork that it was based on, which I'll show off in some B-roll. I am so glad to have that. It's a very nice size poster. I do keep it in my portfolio. I don't really hang it up, but it's just nice to look at. It's absolutely gorgeous artwork, and very glad that she came with it. I really love it when figures come with that bonus of the original artwork. And again, I'm just so happy to have her in my collection. A nice, and probably a very gorgeous figure, and probably one of my favorite Scythe figures that I have at the moment. And yeah, just very nice to add her to my collection overall. So that concludes this first part of my big anime figure haul from 3 months ago. Again, I apologize for not doing these earlier. I really don't know what was going on in my mind and why I didn't do it. Most likely laziness, let's face it. So that might have been a reason, just finding the time to do so, but I'm glad to do it now. Hopefully all right, because my lighting situation isn't the best. Unfortunately, I'm kind of recording on a cloudy day and my face just looks like ass. Yeah, so unfortunately there's that. Hopefully, again, B-roll can do these figures justice on a good sunny day, because right now it's not. And yeah, so let me know what was your favorite figure from this haul, this big haul. And yeah, definitely a lot of great figures that I picked up in the past few months. I feel like definitely my anticipated figures met the expectations I was hoping for, which is fantastic. And yeah, definitely glad to have these in my collection. And hopefully, if things go as planned, I will link the part 2 to my massive figure haul from the past couple of months in the description below. We'll see. Hopefully, again, I get the November haul in. And yeah, so thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are, and take it easy. Goodbye.